Alright, welcome back to another tutorial. Today I'm going to go ahead and just go over some PvP basics and just kind of mash together some of the other stuff we've talked about and kind of just go over like where you should be, how you should be preparing yourself for PvP and how you should be going about it. So the first thing I want to go over is just kind of your living and like your ISK, like what your status is on that. So you're living in Aridia probably, and the idea is you have your battleship or you're working towards it to run missions, or you've got your development going towards your mining barge, and you're just going to make ISK up here and move your loot to Jita to sell it, or sell us to ore locally, or whatever your plan is. And that'll be your ISK plan, right? And the idea is you've got this big ship, whether it's a mining barge later on or the battleship, and you're making more ISK than you are going to be spending on PvP. Because one of the biggest rules in EVE when it comes to PvP and just the game in general is you do not fly what you cannot afford to lose. So that means when it comes to PvP, you should have enough ISK to fly to fit out and fly like 5 or 6 of that type of ship. So if you lose one, you've got 3 or 4 extras and you're not worried about it. Because the biggest problem people have in PvP is they they get burnt out because they can't continually throw ships at the game, and then when the losses start to stack up, they get emotionally distraught, and then a video game that should be fun all of a sudden becomes a burden, and they quit out of rage. And I just don't want, we don't want to see you do that. So first and foremost, EVE's PvP strategy for us as an alliance, United Systems of Aridia, this corporation being United Systems of Aridia, training you to be in the alliance and do PvP and have fun. And the main idea behind everything is that you have an effective cost ratio to where the risk you're taking is worth the cost. So the idea is you're making a lot more money in your battleship than you would. You're making a lot more money per hour in your battleship, or running missions or whatever, or running sites, or in your mining barge mining, than you're gonna lose when you lose like 5 or 6 of these ships. So when it comes to long story short, when it comes to PvP, we mainly try to fly cheap ships, frigates, destroyers at the beginning, and if we are gonna go with more expensive stuff, those ships tend to be just healing ships. So that way the losses don't get too out of control. Everyone's still having fun. And then, as an old friend of mine used to say, you have a bag of Doritos. So you get on EVE every night and you open your bag of Doritos up, or your bag of chips, right? Whatever your favorite chips are. And you pull out ship after ship after ship, chip after chip. So if you lose one, if you eat a couple, you've got more you can eat. And that's kind of the idea of what we're trying to do here. So as a miner, you can actually get to the point where you're building, a ton of these small ships for yourself, and it's not really affecting your bottom line. And as a mission runner, you find a couple modules and you sell them, and you run a couple missions, and boom, you have enough to buy like 10 of these. So yeah, so let's go into the general idea here. So you're in Aridia, you're making your money, whatever, and then what we're gonna do as a group, we're gonna get our ships fit, and we're going to go do PvP. So the main PvP we do, guys, the first thing is that we are not that far away from Aridia. We're just about 5 jumps over. So you head out from Aridia, you go, instead of going out to normal high sec, you go north, and you make 2 jumps into Solitude, and then you're in 0-0. And we basically live in this 0-0 pocket here. And we do like to do a lot of gate camping, where what we do is we shut down the stargates with a fleet of ships. And because this is our home, this is where we live, and other people don't need to come in there. And in 0-0, it's whoever owns the area enforces the rules. So since we live there and make our money there, and there's no concord, we protect ourselves by pretty much killing everybody who's not directly friends with us, who hasn't let us know that they're going to be coming through our space, stuff like that. So we're going to mainly at the beginning get you ready for GateCamp Operations. Get you a couple ships set up so you can sit on the gate with us and help us kill whatever comes through. All right. After that, after a couple weeks of that, once you got the basics of PvP, you've got a kill or two under your belt, we want to get you set up somewhere, whether you like Aridia better or maybe you like it down here better in 0-0. We want to get you set up to, obviously, transfer to the main alliance because that's where all the PvP happens. And then you can choose to also give Faction Warfare a try, which is around this 0-0. You go back around and you basically head into Galente low security space down here and do Faction Warfare, where you fight the Galente and you get mission type of loyalty points that allow you to get, ships from the LP store. But that's something I'll go into in another video. So our main focus is going to be today just showing you the ships that we fly for gate camps and their basic and the basic PvP concepts and how to get out to 0-0. So I know it's kind of long, but this might be a little bit of a video. Okay, so in front of me here, as I've been talking and ship spinning, is my Condor. It's a Tech 1 Caldari frigate. So in our gate camp ops, we're going to be, sometimes expensive ships come through, and the idea is to kill these ships and, like pirates kind of, and take their loot. But we're not pirating because we're in 0-0, and it's pretty well known that if you go out to 0-0 and somebody lives in that area, they're going to kill you because they consider that area their home and you're trespassing. So it's not like I'm moving around low security space trying to get from High Sec Island to High Sec Island, and there's some guy that attacks me and he takes a security status hit, because in 0-0 you will not take a security status hit if you kill somebody. It's just like no big deal. So when we sit on the gate camp, basically we have three types of ships. We are focused on frigates like this that go in fast, tackle the ship and make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Shut off its warp core. I'll show you the fittings here. Shut off its warp core using a warp scrambler or a warp disruptor, using a web of fire to slow the ship down, and then attacking it. At the same time, some of the other guys, or yourself, depending on how you feel, will be flying destroyers, and these will be packing more of a punch. These will have more DPS. They will either have a warp scrambler or web of fire. On this one here, I have the web of fire because they are limited in slots, so we have to be kind of. Some of the guys will be set, to tackle and shut warp cores off, and some will be doing webification. And this is why we'll need a variety of ships. But as you can see, it has a lot of missile launchers, so they will be putting a lot of damage out, and they're also extremely fast. So they will be able to dodge most of the incoming fire from whatever big ships or small ships we're going after. And that will consist that will be the main part of the fleet. We'll have some specialty ships that will be out there to do some special stuff, like put up the warp disruption bubbles if we have them, or do other things that we might be doing. But for the most part, majority of the fleet will consist of cheap, fast ships. So, let's talk about the last ship. Will be healing ships. So it will be frigates for tackling, destroyers for doing the DPS, and also doing a little bit of tackling maybe. And then we will have one or two healing ships, maybe more. And we ask that if you're interested in flying a cruiser, that's the biggest ship that we're going to allow for these operations, that you fly a healing cruiser, because that's the only one we're going to really want. And this is an example of one, the Scimitar. We're mainly going to focus on shields, but armor is okay. So yeah, just going to be a Scimitar or the not the Scimitar, I'm sorry, the Tech 1 version. This is a Tech 2 version actually, guys. So the Scythe. So and we'll give you guys some, if you're really interested in flying a healing ship, we'll give you one for free. We can do that. So yeah, it'll be a couple Scythes to heal everybody there. So if we get attacked and get into a serious fight, we can try to keep you alive. It's not guaranteed, but we're going to try. Oops, what was the wrong button? Okay, so the recap. So you're going to have your frigates. We'll do our tackling with those. You'll have your destroyer to do the DPS, and then some of us will be, or you will be flying a cruiser for healing. So that'll be the main part of the fleet. So the idea will be for us to sit on the gates, like I said, gate camp, and kill stuff, and then in between we'll kill some computer rats that are out there that are the size of level 4 mission rats, so they're very, very, very big, like battleships and stuff. And we'll make a lot of ISK in between. All right. So I'm going to go over some training stuff. So hopefully if you are running missions or you're mining, you're going to be training some skills up, obviously. You're going to be doing hopefully armor, shield skills mainly for the mining barge and also your mission ship, maybe armor. And that will obviously help you in PvP. You're probably going to get your weapon skills up if you're a mission runner, and you're probably going to get your drone skills up if you're a miner. So keep that in mind. As far as these PvP fleets are concerned, guys, we beg you to, I know some of you are going to be like not interested, but we want to stick to the same type of ships for healing reasons and so on. So the healing ships we use for fast fleets, well, okay, let me back up. So the fleets that we fly here are mainly, their main doctrine is not going to be shield or armor. Like you focus on shield and armor in this game. That's kind of the main way you stay alive. But there's also speed. So if I'm flying faster than you, then your weapons are not going to hit me. They're going to miss every time. So even though I myself am called Ari and my other character is an Amara character, and some of you guys might be Galente, whatever. None of that really matters, right? We basically try to focus on training for Mimitar ships. Like we use a lot of Mimitar ships for PvP. We use the Talwar destroyer, and that's kind of what I'm going to ask for you guys is to look up the Talwar, and I'll do that right now in the tree here. And ship tree, and we focus on that. And then obviously the healing cruiser is also Mimitar because it's also fast, so we can keep up with the Talwar. Where are they? Here they are. So like you have your healing cruiser here, the Scythe, remote shield booster, all that. Logistics drones, which are really good for keeping the smaller ships alive. You have your frigates, obviously. If you guys want to fly frigates, you can do that. And then we have a Talwar here. So as you can see, it has a micro warp drive bonus, which makes it extremely fast. I mean, it's way faster than a frigate half the time. And it can pump out those missiles, and we can just really get in there and do some damage. So that's kind of our main part of the fleet. So we encourage you guys, when it comes to mission running or mining, to grab whatever ship you want. If you want a specific mining ship, you buy that, fly that. That's whatever you want. The same comes when it comes to mission running, right? Buy whatever battleship you enjoy. So when you guys come to our ops, guys, if you want to fly a ship of your own choice, like you're like, man, I really want to fly a Galente ship, we will allow that, but it's only going to be allowed for the frigates because they're small, they're cheap. So if you mess something up, or if you want to set up a special fit on your frigate, you're not really, you can still tackle and perform your main role. You can do damage however you choose by launching drones, or in my case, I like to fly Caldari. So let us know. We have a wide variety of frigates, or you can just bring your own, buy your own. If you want to buy your own tech too, you can do that. Just keep in mind, if you're bringing your own, we will not replace it because you're responsible and you've chosen not to fly what ships we're giving you. With that said, if you do want to fly something bigger, like I said, we ask you fly a Talwar and train Mimitar, get the missiles for it. And if you can't do that, and you're more into healing, you get yourself a Scythe for healing. All right, so that'll be basically that'll be the setup of our main fleet. Okay. So, like I said, we'll have ops schedule like once a week or so. We'll put out an email and we'll let you know, like, hey, we're going to do a moving fleet. We're going to get some frigates together and destroyers, and we're going to go out 20 minutes or an hour before the gate camp and, fly out to the gate camp. So we'll get together and we'll fly out. And once we're out there, we'll get you all set up. And then we'll just gate camp. And then there's a lot of ships out there that are available too. So if you get blown up or whatever, we can help replace your ship. Okay, so let's say you show up one day and you're like, we're we're like, hey, we're gate camping, but we already moved everybody's ship last night, so we're already all out there. And what we try to do, guys, it varies on weeks, but we try to spend like half of the week, a couple days, like say as an example, Saturday night or Sunday through like Tuesday in Aridia for like 2-3 days. And then the other 4 days we are in 0-0, making more ISK there and just doing other stuff there. So if we're out there and you're in Aridia, you're going to have to come out there and join us, right? So the best way to do that is grab your Talwar or your Frigate, and just be aware that on your way out there, Null Sec, which are the local Russian pirates, might kill you. They might have a smart bombing battleship set up on the Stargate, and you're not ready, and kabloom, you're dead. Or nothing happens, but just be aware of that. So you're going to grab your Frigate that you've probably set up. So I'm just going to show you like a setup I have here. So again, this is important. The main thing is you have your afterburner for speed. You've got your scrambler of Tech 1 or Tech 2 to shut down warp core. You've got your webification to stop their just to stop their normal drive from going. Their normal speed will just slow down basically. And then whatever DPS you're going to be using on your ship, obviously, and then modules to keep you alive and up your DPS. And then whatever you're going to be using to keep your ship alive. Some armor rep or shield boost, and then obviously your rigs. Okay, so that's gonna be your basic setup on your Frigate. And then dock. In your recruitment mail somewhere, there should be an overview setting. If not, let us know. It's also in one of the bulletins. So the overview setting will be over here, guys. And I actually don't have mine set right now, so I'm a bad boy because I'm on another computer recording this video. But make sure your overview settings have been set in the previous video. All right. Or sorry, have been set. It's in the mail actually, not a previous video. Okay, so you're gonna want to set your destination to Y-W6GF if you're coming out. So the idea is you're just flying out to 0-0 on your own, right? Because we were out there and we're like, hey, we're having a gate camp, but you're not here. So you're just going to fly out there on your own. Oop. You have to forgive me. I did not expect the music to be so loud. All right. So a couple of things about your HUD, right? You're depending on your skills, you're going to want to make sure you can run like at least your scrambler and web without it drying your capacitor out. Your DPS is not that important in the tackling ship. So like we would really prefer at the beginning, if you haven't gotten any kills under your belt, guys, just fly a Frigate. Like it's going to be cheaper, it's going to be easier. This is going to be like $1 mil to buy the hull, and maybe like another $2 mil to $3 mil to put all the stuff on it. So you're losing like 5-6 million, and you can probably make that back mining, or easily in like 30 minutes, or running a couple missions. So the main concept is, I'll go over this here. So as an example, you're heading to a gate camp, and you're going to notice that Null Sec is out here. Terrible standing. They're sitting either in station, running missions, or got a battleships here waiting to kill me as I come out of warp. Anyways, so you're going to head out to the gate camp, obviously, and when you're out there, like I said, your main focus is just to shut down warp cores and to slow the ship down. So you're going to come in, you're going to right-click like you normally would a rat, right? You're going to lock it, and then you're going to hit your scrambler, you're going to hit your web, you're going to tie the ship down, and you're going to orbit the ship as close as you can in a way that will give your weapons decent range, but also put you close enough to continually scramble in the web, because this is your main focus. If the ship gets away, we can't kill it, and your job is not to do damage. I mean, you'll shoot at it eventually anyways. You'll be on the kill mail for tackling it, but your main focus is to tackle it and not do DPS, because the bigger ships and mainly the Talwars and everything else will do the DPS. So if your capacitor starts to run dry because you're running too many modules, make sure you shut your weapons off, obviously, and just focus on tackling first, or depending on maybe your shield booster is running dry, just because, again, if the ship gets away, then it was all for nothing. All right, just like before, if in your first couple of tutorials, I was showing you how to warp to 0 while going through low sec. So make sure you're doing that. You know, just right click, warp to 0. Always quickly go through. Do not autopilot. All right. So you're basically gonna head down into low sec, past low sec Shalupin, and then we're gonna make it into low sec Galente space. There's like this little Galente island here off to our right. So we're gonna the edge of that, and then we're going to make it right up here and head towards this outer ring and be on the edge of it, because that's where our other home is. Also keep in mind, guys, when you're setting up these little frigates to tackle, go with close range weapons, because you're going to be so close trying to get that scrambler and the webification to work that you're going to want, like on this Condor, for instance, you can use light missiles, but the rockets are close range. So we just set up this baby with as many rockets as we can. And you know, if you're Galente, like, you're going to launch drones and you're going to have some blasters, and you're not going to have rail guns. If you're Mimitar, you're going to have autocannons. You're not going to have the artillery. If you're Amar, you're going to have pulse lasers, not beam lasers. All right? And you'll notice that when you're fitting, because the bigger weapons use way more power grid and all that junk. All right, so this is the first jump, the D85. So you're going to notice it's going to go from low security to 0. So what's the difference? So real quick before I get uncloaked here. So in low security, if I attack you on a Stargate, the Stargate has 2 gate guns. They will shoot at me. They're pretty crappy, so they're not going to save you like 99% of the time. They're not even going to scare me when I'm shooting at you, right? Or the pirate or that's shooting at you, whatever. Out here in 0, though, there is no gate guns at all. You just have an empty gate. And the computer will drop some rats on there. They actually just warped off. You saw them. They were red here. And those rats will shoot us. But what we'll do is we'll come into the gate. We'll blow them up. And then we'll sit on this gate. And we'll just wait for people to jump through like I have here. You know, I'll be cloaked like this. And then as soon as I uncloak, everybody's just going to pile on top of me and try to kill me. So that's kind of like how we're going to do these GateCamp ops. All right, so it's only 5 jumps away to the first 0-0 gate, which will be probably not camping the first one. We might be camping the second one. It's going to vary, but you're pretty much here. So it's only 5 jumps, guys. It's not that hard. So we're pretty much here. I'm going to make 2 more jumps and just show you real quick where you can set your clone. So yeah, once you've got like your battleship set up for ISK, your mining stuff set up for ISK, and you've got like 1 or 2 PvP kills under your belt from gate camping, then we recommend you come join the main alliance, because we feel like that's going to be the point where you're going to be basically trained and, you know, playing this game kind of the way we play it, and being able to do it enjoyably and safe. All right, one more jump here, and you can see this is the rats I was talking about. So these are actually, you can, whoops, let me move this. They got really big bounties. Like this guy's 200,000 ISK. So in between us gate camping, we'll be blowing these up. And also you, if you're bored, you can come out here anytime and go after these guys. Just be careful and use cheap ships that you're willing to lose. You can see there's a blue here. He's friendly, good standings. He won't hurt me. But any other pilot that has no box next to him or red would be considered hostile and would be trying to kill you as you're trying to make money out here. So keep that in mind, because this is no man's land. There's also pirate missions out here in the stations, and Caldari missions. So yeah, guys, you know, the actual training of the PvP is going to happen when you come out with us during the op. But I hope this video kind of just showed you some basics, showed you the ships we're going to be flying, showed you the route, you know, what kind of threats are going to be on the way. Once you get out here, we might have a station or a citadel or 2 set up, but right now we don't. So we mainly camp the 2 systems before me that I was showing you. But we do stay here in the Intaki Space Police Logistics Support Station in Y-W. So I'm just going to dock. I'm going to tell you a couple more things, and that'll be the end of this video. Oh, and the last thing I forgot to mention is always insure these ships, guys. If you're flying Tech 1 for PvP, insure it, because the insurance will pay out for a little bit more than the frigate or the basic hull of the ship is worth. So you only basically pay for the modules when you die. Alright, so you know this looks like a Galente looking station, but these are actually pirates that are anti-Galentes and friendly to the Caldari. So in Y-W, there's Caldari missions, there's these police missions. This police station, unlike the Caldari station, is the only one that has a clone base. So as soon as you come out here, before you do any gate camping, even if you are on a gate camp operation with us, guys, make sure you fly over, to the clone bay, and make sure you set your clone. So install one here at, if you haven't installed a jump clone, install a second one so you can jump out here and do PvP with us. So that means you should have 3 jump clones, right? Like one to do the epic arcs, one in Aridia to do stuff there, and one in out here to do stuff out here with us in PvP and all that fun stuff. And then the last thing you should do is reset your home station. So when you die, if you aren't that comfortable yet and you just want to be respawned in Aridia, then just don't change this. You should still have your jump clone, or sorry, your def clone. There's a difference between the jump clone and the def clone. That's just, your def clone is just your respawn. Okay, just you die, you respawn. That should be set in Jaime. Okay, at the station that we started off when this video started. I showed you how to do that in the video previous, so if you need to find that, you can. It's in like the second or third tutorial, I believe. But as of right now, before we conclude this video, if you're going to be out here PvPing a lot, we recommend that you change your home respawn to Y-W, and then we will provide you new replacement ships in KFR. Alright. Thanks for watching, guys. I wish you safe PvP. And like I said, just come out, get your feet wet in some PvP with us, and then you'll know what it's all about. And I'm sure at that point you'll be hooked. If you have any questions, send me an email, comment, if you think I left something out and all that. Thank you, and have a good one.